Hello and welcome to La Casa Inc.'s DreamSavers Individual Development Accounts Orientation PowerPoint. We're glad that you're interested in this program, and we hope that this presentation gives you a good sense for exactly what this program is, its benefits, and how you can get involved working with us in this exciting program that we have to offer. My name is Chris Kingsley. I am the Financial Capabilities Program Manager here at La Casa. In today's orientation, we want to talk about a number of things and answer some of the questions that you might have about this DreamSavers program. The first question is, what is an IDA? IDA stands for Individual Development Account. Who are they for? How do they work? What does it mean to be eligible? What are the requirements? How to get started and what to expect? And then we'll give you some information that's specific to the particular goal that you have in mind, whether that be purchasing a home for the first time or continuing your education. So what are IDAs? Well, I already said that an IDA is an individual development account, and it's a matched savings account for the purchase of a valuable asset for individuals from moderate or low income households. So it's an account structure where you as a participant open a savings account and you save money into it, and then you get a match on that money from the program to help you move toward that important purchase more quickly. It's made to be a tool for upward economic mobility. That's just a fancy way of saying the program is designed not to just sustain you, but to actually help you make progress and get to a place that's more stable, more secure with your finances. It's overseen, these programs, by the federal legislation and state legislation, and we comply by the appropriate legislation for every program that we run. And then an IDA it's part of a holistic program for sustained success. So an individual development account refers to a matched savings account, but those accounts are only available to people who are part of an overall program that's designed to support them not only in attaining the asset, but in developing the skills necessary to truly flourish with that asset and with their financial futures. So there's a number of objectives that the IDA initiative has. These IDAs are funded by donors and federal tax dollars and state tax dollars. So there's a lot of folks who are invested in this program, and they have a couple of things that they hope that it achieves. One is that a participant would reach a higher level of financial independence. So meaning that they really feel like they're able to sustain themselves and feel confident about their financial reality. Financial self-sufficiency, that just means that a person is not as reliant on others or on public funds in order to make it with their money. And finally, a greater level of financial capability, which simply means that you as a participant, by going through the program, by participating in financial education and coaching and practicing good money management habits, you're going to leave this program feeling more confident not only about your current financial situation, but your ability to sustain it going forward, because you're going to know how to manage your money on an ongoing basis in a way that moves you toward your goals, in a way that makes sure that you have access to the best financial opportunities that are out there.
So, who are these accounts for? Well, they're for individuals, and individuals from moderate to low income households, and we'll talk more about what those limits look like in a little bit, but they may be a little bit higher than you're expecting, so just want to encourage you to hang in there and find out more about it. It's for people who are committed to their own betterment. So the IDA program is here, and it's a phenomenal opportunity for someone who says, you know, here's where I am, here's where I want to go, and I'm committed to going there. And the wonderful thing is this IDA program then comes alongside and says, hey, we want to help you get there quicker. But a person needs to believe in themselves, believe in their future, and care about it enough to work for it. So people who desire to further specifically their education or make a first-time home purchase, those are the two goals that our program focuses on supporting. And I do want to make a note here that our program defines a first-time home buyer as someone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. So even if you've owned a home at some point but don't now, you may well qualify. And it's for people who aren't afraid of a little bit of old-fashioned hard work. What does that mean? It means that you get signed up, you provide documents, you attend the training sessions, and you come to appointments, you're proactive, you communicate with us, and you're looking to be involved in the program. You're looking to be truly active in the program. You're not just looking to get by with the minimum.
So how do the accounts work? The actual accounts themselves, they're custodial, and what that means is that your name will be on the account, but so will La Casa's, and that's simply because we both have to sign in order for you to access funds. That's to ensure that the money always gets used for the asset that we've designated it for, whether it be education or home buyer. You as the participant save money every month. So one of the biggest objectives of the IDA program is to help people establish a regular pattern of savings. So that's a big deal. You have to save at least $25 every month into that account. Then that participant savings, your savings, are matched at an agreed upon rate every month. So that's where the excitement comes in. As you contribute money into there, there's additional money that's put in for your use by the program, and it's a lot of additional money. So as an example, if you're pursuing education and you contribute $100 in a month, that's going to get matched with additional $300 from the program funds. And we'll talk more about the match rate and how that works later on when we talk about the structure. Once you, as the individual and the participant, have completed all of the program requirements, then the funds are available for use to pay for education or first-time home purchase costs. So that means, again, that this is part of a program, and just because the money's there doesn't mean it's available to you yet. You need to comply with all of the aspects of the program before you would have access to those funds to make that important purchase. So where does this match money come from? Well, I touched on this earlier, but the funds that support this program are through local donors, through state tax dollars, and through federal tax dollars. That obviously means that as a program, we're accountable to these sources of revenue that support the program. And in our work and in designing the program, we've done it in such a way as to comply with the requirements of each funder. So there are two different programs, as I already touched on. There's an education IDA program and a first-time homebuyer program. They do each have their own structure, and they have several unique aspects to them, and for that reason you selected at the beginning of this orientation either to be part of the education one or the homebuyer one, and toward the end of the slideshow we will get into the specifics of the program that you have expressed interest in.
So, what does it look like to be eligible for the IDA program? Well, first and foremost, we need to make sure that you're within the income range that the program supports. So you need to be below a set income threshold as a household. Even though you apply as an individual and you participate in as an individual, your eligibility is based on your household, so that's an important thing to understand. You need to be able to save money on a monthly basis, so regular savings is a program requirement, and learning the habit is a major focus of the program. This may mean making changes to the way you're currently spending money, and it's important that you're willing to explore how to do this. Finally, if you have previously had an IDA through La Casa or the state of Indiana, you will not be able to participate in the program. So I told you that we would get a sense for where these income eligibility thresholds are. These are the 2015 guidelines. If you look at this chart, basically you think about your household. You would just look how many people are in the household, and then you would go by that number in the household size, and you would just follow the number across. So if you're interested in an education IDA, that has a distinct limit, which is 175% of the federal poverty level. So if you're a family of four, you would just need to think about, do we earn more than $42,437.50 per year? Now, if you're not sure, then the best thing to do is to just start working with us. If you're anywhere close, the best thing to do is to start working with us. If you're saying, hey, wait a minute, my salary is $60,000, then you can clearly see that for a family of four, you would be over income for this program. You would definitely still want to work with our Own Your Home Now program, which is open to anyone and fantastic for getting you into home ownership, but this IDA program wouldn't be a good fit. We'll talk a little bit more about what this income considers and what it doesn't consider here in a little bit, but I do want to stress that we are the experts in assessing that eligibility, and if you're in the ballpark, we would certainly encourage you to go ahead and apply and get started so we can see whether or not you're qualified for the program.
There's some other requirements involved. For our program, you do have to be a resident of the state of Indiana. You do need to receive earned income, so that means that, and we'll talk more about what that is and what that isn't in a second, but if your only income, for instance, is from Social Security of some sort or child support or things like that, you would not be eligible for the program. We have to be able to show that your savings is being contributed from earned income, working income. We need to determine that the desired asset, whether that be purchasing a home or your education, is a realistic one given your circumstances. So we don't want to set this up for failure. We don't want to have you put in all this time to work on savings and have the excitement of seeing that savings matched, and then in the end realize that you can't complete the purchase of the asset. So we will work with you to assess that. And then we need you to commit time, energy, and resources to the program and the asset goals. So basically what we're saying there is, if there's thousands of dollars at stake that's for the betterment of your future, again, we ask you to be committed to your future and to commit yourself to completing anything necessary to have access to that. Real briefly, what is earned income? It's anything that's considered taxable wages, salaries, and tips, or net earnings from self-employment. So if you are working and somebody's paying you to do that work, whether it be as your own contractor or through an employer, you have earned income. Things that wouldn't be qualified as earned income would be amounts from alimony or child support, welfare payments, Social Security disability, supplemental Social Security, any kind of federal program stipends, interest and dividends, pensions and annuities, unemployment and veterans compensation benefits. So the bad news is if your only sources of income are from one of these that's listed as not earned income, you wouldn't you wouldn't be eligible. The good news is if you have earned income, but you also get an amount from one of these that's not earned income, these amounts here, the not earned income amounts, they don't count against you on that income eligibility. So that may be a helpful thing in terms of you being determined to qualify to participate in the program. Question that you want to ask yourself, and you're getting acquainted with what this IDA is, but is this for me? So do I have established long-term goals that I'm working toward with my money? Do I have a clear asset purchase in mind? In other words, we don't want you to say, hey, I heard there's money in this IDA program, so I'll just do an education. I'll go try and get a degree. No, we want to make sure that you've really looked at where you're wanting to go, and you've determined that either home buying or education makes sense, and you've spent time thinking about, what kind of degree you want, what kind of education, what kind of home you're interested in buying. Stable employment, that's big because you do have to save into this account every month, and of course, especially for purchasing a home, it's important that you have stable employment so that you can qualify to do that. The desire and willingness to address credit issues which may hinder your ability to purchase an asset. So we do financial coaching. We work with people on taking the steps necessary to get themselves into the best position possible to succeed with the program. But you have to have that desire and willingness to do it. You have to be able to make monthly deposits of $25, and on top of that, we need to be able to see that you're going to be able to save the full amount necessary to complete the program, and we'll talk more about those amounts when we talk specifically about home buying or education IDAs. And then we need to see the desire and willingness to successfully complete our programs, financial capability programs like Money for Life, and any kind of other asset or goal-specific trainings. So that's a big part of the program, really. The program's not just about the money, giving money. It's about really preparing somebody to take a step up and never look back. And so, as you think about this program, ask yourself, is that where I'm at? Am I ready to take a step forward and never look back, toward financial self-sufficiency, financial independence, and greater stability? And then, do you have the ability to do direct deposits from your employment income? Now, that's not going to make or break your participation, but it is a great advantage if you can use direct deposit to do the savings. That takes it out of sight and out of mind, and ensures that you're able to do it on a consistent basis.
Okay, so how do you get started with either of these programs? Well, it's important first and foremost to complete this orientation and hear more about either education or home buying as your goal. The second thing you need to do is to download the IDA program forms. Those are on our website, which you can see here on the slide. Those forms also have an actual form that explains the documents that you need, so it's important to get those forms. We ask you to make copies of those requested documents and fill out the forms, and once you've done that, you can give us a call at 574-533-4450 to set up an appointment with one of our IDA coaches. You can also email us at dreamsavers@lacasainc.net. Our IDA coach is going to assess your eligibility and let you know the next steps at that point. So again, you're going to get the forms, gather all the copies of the documents that are needed, complete those forms, and then you'll contact us to get set up for the IDA. And again, our email address for this would be dreamsavers@lacasainc.net.
So what kind of documents does La Casa need? We're going to need income and identification documents. So any kind of employment from your household, anyone who has employment income, we need to see 6 weeks of pay stubs for them. So even if you're the only person applying, if there's another person in the household who works, we need 6 pay stubs for them. Any kind of child support, food stamps, Social Security, any other kinds of amounts that you're receiving on a monthly basis, we need to see documentation for that. Again, that's not going to count against your eligibility, but we still do need that documentation. We need your last year's tax return, so you need to make copies of your federal tax forms. That's going to be your 1040 form. It could be a 1040, a 1040A, 1040EZ. And any schedules that were included with that, and your W-2s. So basically anything that you turned into the federal government, we need copies of that. We need 2 copies of your driver's license and your Social Security card. We want your most recent 2 months worth of bank statements, and any kind of recent statement on any retirement or investment accounts. So basically any financial accounts that you have, we need 2 months worth of statements. And if you get just quarterly statements, we would just need 1 quarter statement. But we do need statements rather than just transaction histories. If you bank online, it would be called an e-statement. If you receive monthly statements by mail, you would need to make copies of the most recent 2 of those and include that in your documentation. In terms of the forms, and again, these are available online, you're going to want to fill out the program application. You'll notice on the website that there's one for education and there's one for home buyers, so just fill out the appropriate one. Those are a number of pages, and we encourage you to take your time with those and complete as much of it as possible. We do understand that you may have a question or 2 on it, but try your best to complete as much as possible. There's an IDA release of information that's also available, and we need you to sign that. There's an opt-in release that gives us permission to use text to communicate with you, to text back and forth. That's an effective way of communicating, and it's important to us that we have your permission to do that. We will need to pull a credit report, although you can pay for that when you actually come in for your assessment with the coach. But the current charge for that credit report is $18, and you will need to pay for that.
All right, at this point we are moving on to talk specifically about our Education IDA program. Education IDAs serve as an important way to maximize your savings toward your chosen degree or certification and to decrease the amount of money that you need to borrow, which is huge. As we all know, a valuable degree or certification can increase both our earning power and our employability, which are both crucial to achieving greater financial independence, confidence, and self-sufficiency. I want to highlight a few important considerations when it comes to your continued education as a valuable asset. First off, this program supports post-secondary education or training programs. This means that it is building upon your high school or GED diploma. So if you don't have this yet, we highly encourage you to go ahead and complete it and come back to us. The institution that you're using for obtaining this training must have accreditation in its field. This simply means that the degree or certificate it issues is recognized to be legitimate and will be valuable to employers. So we want this to be increasing earning power and stability. You need to make sure that you have thought about the financial viability of the training you're considering. It's important that it results in better or more stable earning power. We all want this investment that you're making in yourself to result in greater opportunities for stability and fulfillment for you and your household. Finally, it's crucial that you're committed to completing the program of choice. So the training will only become a valuable asset once you have the appropriate degree or certification awarded to you. You're investing money into this and will likely have some loans as well. This can be great for your future, but only if you commit to finishing. In terms of what you're committing to with this program, there are several components of participation. One is that you'll need to make monthly savings deposits of at least $25 from earned income. So this means that you will need to make enough money to be able to support that habit. You will not be able to access funds until you've saved for 6 consecutive months. You'll also need to complete our Money for Life training within the first 6 months of starting the program. This training will help you look at your money and your goals and the types of tools that you can be using to make sure that you always make progress in the right direction. You'll have the option of completing 3 or more one-on-one financial coaching sessions with one of our financial coaches that works at further ensuring you are confidently progressing towards your financial goals. This is available to you free of charge as part of participation. You're committing to close communication and responsiveness. We also commit to being responsive to you. So once you're in the program, we'll be touching base with you to ensure that you're making the agreed upon progress, and you'll be contacting us to let us know of your needs for using the money. And finally, you commit to letting us know at least 2 weeks before you'll need money from your account. You'll have a form that you'll fill out for the requests, and you can fax those or email those to us ahead of time. I've touched a bit on the financial structure of these accounts already, but basically you need to save at least $25 per month into your account while you participate in the program. You can save more than this, and we certainly encourage you to do so, but at a minimum $25 per month. Over the course of your participation, you'll save at least $1,200. You can do this over the course of anywhere from 2 to 4 years. And we'll talk a little bit about how we define years in just a second. But along with your monthly savings, you can always make lump sum deposits as well, like when you get a tax refund or something like that. As long as you're saving at least $25 per month and save at least $1,200 of your earned income within 2 to 4 years, you're good to go. Your savings are matched by the state of Indiana at a 3-to-1 rate. So every dollar that you save is matched with another $3. That means that your $1,200 will be matched with an additional $3,600 that can be used toward costs related to your education or training. So you can see quickly that the time and energy you put into this pays off big time. Just so you're aware, the match is only for the first $1,200 that you save. It's great to save more, and we encourage this, but those additional monies are not matched. So here you can see a bit of a visual on what your participation could look like. This is just to illustrate that you can fully utilize the program within 2 years, maybe even shorter, or take up to 4 years to do it in terms of completing your saving. Your savings are matched monthly, and after you have saved for at least 6 consecutive months and completed the other program requirements, you are eligible to begin using funds for your schooling costs. So even while you continue to save, you can be using money that's in your account to pay for tuition or book costs through your institution. Just to make a couple of comments on time frame issues within the program, obviously I already mentioned that timely communication is important. You get out of the program what you put into it, and the more proactive you are, the more smoothly things work. As soon as any of your contact information changes, let us know. Do the same if there are updates to your program of study or anything else that would have an impact on the program. You've already seen that there's some flexibility on your pace in this program. The main parameter here is that all of your savings, which is at least $1,200, needs to be completed within 4 contract years from the time you begin. And I'll say a little bit more about contract years in a second. You have another full contract year in which to finish up utilizing the funds in your account after the 4 years of saving. To expand on this idea of contract years, these accounts are contracts through the state of Indiana, And because of that, they're governed by the state's fiscal year. This means that for the program, a contract year runs from September 1st through October 31st. So when you join the program, no matter when that might be, year number one of your participation is whatever contract year you're in. So just as an example, if I get an IDA in July of 2015, my first year of savings, my first contract year, is considered September 1st of the last year, 2014, through August 31st of 2015. So in this scenario, I will not have a lot of time to save in my first contract year since it's almost over. Because of this, I may wish to catch up my savings, so to speak, by putting in a big initial deposit. In the contract year, up to $600 of my personal savings can be matched at the 3-to-1 rate. Within any given contract year, that's the case, as long as I have not saved more than $1,200 total throughout my participation. So if I don't use all of the match available to me in a given contract year, it's forfeited. Now, this doesn't mean I won't be able to fully benefit from the program. It just means that it may make it take a little longer to do it. So as an example again, if I were to deposit $600 in that scenario before August 31st, it would be matched fully. And then if I were able to deposit another $600 in the following contract year, that would also be matched fully, and I would have full access to all of the available funds from the program in a very short period of time, as long as I've saved at least $25 per month for 6 consecutive months. So just to give you a picture, in that scenario, I could end up fully utilizing the program and the account in as short as 6 months. As long as I've completed all of the other program requirements. So that's just an illustration of the flexibility that the program gives. To further help with this concept, here we have a visual for the current contracts available. You can see the 4 contract years in which people who are currently enrolling will have in order to save. And then you can see that all of the funds will need to have been utilized by August of 2019. Again, though, this is the outer limit. A person could complete the program in a much shorter time. So you saw this table earlier in the presentation, but I want to show you again the specific household income threshold for eligibility for this program. Earlier it had both programs. As stated earlier, this income limit considers all earned income within your household. If you are still considered part of your parent's household or a guardian's household, their earned income, along with anyone else's from the household who's above 18 years of age, counts toward the household income for eligibility. Income that is not earned, such as child support or food stamps or other forms of assistance, does not count towards this limit. So again, if, for instance, you're part of a household of 5 people, you will see that your income as a household must be below $49,717 in order to be eligible. If there's any doubt on this, we again encourage you to follow through with the process of applying so that we can make a determination. Okay, you've taken in a lot of information, but we want to encourage you and say you're almost there. Remember, this program is an investment in yourself and in your future. IDAs are designed to support you in achieving your goal of financial independence and personal fulfillment. La Casa is excited to join you in this investment. Taking action to increase your earning power and employability is one of the biggest steps you will ever take in securing a financial future, both full of security and opportunity. We want to encourage you to act quickly to secure your spot by downloading the Education IDA forms from this website, filling everything out, collecting all of the requested copies, and contacting us at 574-533-4450, or preferably emailing us at dreamsavers@lacasainc.net to get set up for an eligibility assessment. Contact us at this email address as well if you have any questions while you're working on this. Thanks so much for tuning in to the DreamSavers Education IDA orientation presentation. We hope that it gives you a good sense for this exciting program and what is involved in you becoming part of it. La Casa is committed to partnering with people like you to create opportunities for greater stability. We encourage you to let others around you know about this great opportunity as well, and to be sure and complete the steps necessary to work with us in making your dreams become a reality. Once again, our contact information is on this slide, and we will be excited to work with you in the near future. So on behalf of all of us here at La Casa, take care.